Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm joined with Hennessey, and Hennessey has Crohn's disease, and it's going to be an awesome chat. Thank you for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you for having me and staying up late just so I can make sure I get to this meeting.
Yeah. So as we're recording this, it's gone 11 for me, and it's just about 5 o'clock for you. I bet.
Yep.
Yeah. So could you just say a little bit who you are, like introduce yourself a little bit?
My name's Hennessey. Real name is Shantae. I'm a mom. Of course, my little one's back there playing the game. How could I say? Have Crohn's disease since 14. That's when I was diagnosed. Had my first colonoscopy at 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why, like, when did you kind of decide to kind of talk about it, like about your Crohn to different people?
Oh, recently.
Just recently.
Yeah, it was about I think last year is when I ended up meeting like Jordan. I ran into Jordan, CJ Papuro, and Renika. I ran into them because I was just like, I kind of got tired of just being like closed in, or how can I say closed out? I got tired of just like not expressing what's going on with me, not having no one to talk to that can understand me. And I started stalking hashtags. And as soon as I realized it was just like, I could have just put hashtag Crohn's disease. Like the whole time, I was just like, we look up so many other hashtags. Why didn't I think of looking up Crohn's disease? So once I did that, I just started liking everybody's stuff. I just started liking everybody's stuff. And I came across this girl named Chantel. And her tag is called like living with Crohn's. And I don't know, but something just made me like gravitate towards her. And she was the first person I just like reached out to. And I just was like, hey, I have Crohn's and I've never met anyone that had Crohn's that was like me. And I just was like, can I add you? Do you mind? And she was like, yeah, go ahead. And she, I saw she was like a little open about it, on her page and talking about it. So I just was like, okay, I need to be that comfortable. I was just like, I like her comfortability, with the whole being able to talk about it and stuff. And then from there, that's when I ended up not meeting, but like I said, seeing CJ, Pat Puro, Renika, Jordan. So then that's when I came across like the Crohn's veteran podcast. And then I was asked to be on there and I was kind of scared. I held it off a little bit. I pushed it back, but then I just was like, you know what? I was just like, let me just go ahead and jump into that. So yeah, that's how I ended up coming across like everyone with that.
Yeah, it's quite good. Like I didn't even till recently, 2020, I kind of decided to speak to different people about it.
Yeah.
Like in the community, because I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, like takes time to actually figure that out, doesn't it?
Yep. And then that's when I came across Kochi, the color of Crohn's and colitis illness.
Yeah.
Came across them too. And then that's when I really just found a really whole, how could I say, family. That's how I found a whole more than a community. So that's when it was just really like, whoa, it's this many people? Like, where have we all been? Like we've been hiding under rocks individually or something.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? Yeah, like when I was diagnosed in 2017, I didn't know anyone like had Crohn's and stuff, and like I might have gone to a few events or something that I saw maybe a few people, and then it's where I looked on Instagram, and then lots of people have it and stuff, and I thought it was just this rare thing, like they tell you it's rare. I thought 1 in a million people are gonna have this or something.
Yeah, because a lot of us don't talk about it. And we've been holding it in for so long. Like, and people just be like, "Oh, you had that in high school," you know? People now that they see that me talk about it, check Manny.
Yeah.
Um, they see me talk about it and they was like, I never knew what Crohn's was until you started talking about it and you started posting about it. I got a message recently from one of my followers, also a friend. They were like, man, like, like I said, they never seen it until they started posting it, till I started posting about it. And they became just like, wow, like, you're strong to be able to post about this. You're strong to be able to tell people, like what you've been having for so long. Like, takes a lot of guts to speak up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold.
I think that's
I
pretty
have
good.
to. No, I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't hang up because I had somebody calling. So I was okay. It pushed it over to the side. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Manny
Like,
is outside.
like, with your Crohn's, do you like how's it doing at the moment?
Right now, everything. I'd like to call it remission, but I do still have like the blockages and everything that ends up happening. So it just has me like, am I still in remission, even though blockages happen from time to time? But I feel like I'm in remission. But from time to time, depending on what I'm eating that day, what I ate prior that day, then I'm feeling like a little bit like, okay, you know what? I can't eat no more hot foods for the rest of this week because I'm feeling, this flaring. Or I just be like, all right, that's my only drink that I'm having today. I can't drink no more. So I regulate certain things that I do to try to keep it under control. But in the beginning, it was bad.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I feel regular a little bit until it's when I have to go into the washroom or if I forget, like, oh, wait, you know what? I didn't have my tea today, and then I definitely will have like a blockage. And
Yeah.
those things are nothing to play with.
No, no. Like, I think it's like that, isn't it? At the start, it's really bad, and then it mostly gradually gets better. Um,
It
in a way.
Have you ever had a blockage before?
No, I haven't. I've I've for me, what effect? I normally get quite a lot of blood. Like that's really at the start, and it sometimes happens. Like blood when you go into a toilet, going for stools, which isn't friendly.
The running to the toilet part, I've always held it. I've always held it. And I never started paying attention until now that it's like, girl, that's bubbling. Go. Why are you waiting? Go. And now I'm just like, any little thing I feel, I'm just like, you know what? Go run to the washroom real quick because later it gets worse. It's like, as I'm stopping everything I'm doing, and I cook for almost 200 people
Mm.
at the place I work at. So it's 200 children, and there's two teachers for each class, and there's 11 classes. So I'm just like, okay, I want to do this first. I want to do my work first, but in my mind is like, no, girl, go take your ass to the washroom now. Like you could pause that for 2 minutes. You can't wait 2 minutes. So now I'm understanding myself, my bladder, and like what my body is like trying to tell me.
Yeah, yeah. I think like I suppose in a way I'm quite lucky. I don't go to the toilet as much as quite a lot of people do.
Yeah.
With Crohn's, but if I need to go, I will need to go. But I think the most disappointing about that is having blood in your stools, and which can be caused by a
Yeah.
flare. Can be caused. I mean, it doesn't. Flares are not always painful as well. It could just be with your levels,
Hmm.
maybe in your with your Crohn's and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it can be difficult. I
That
think.
it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say like would maybe is the most painful pain you've had? if there is
Ooh.
a certain pain that is worse than another one. I don't know, or is it all just bad?
The worst pain is the blockages. Like that's the worst. Like that gets, I guess it's like so much gas or whatever that gets like stopped up. But when I don't have my tea on the regular, I notice if I get that blockage, it's hard to try to like get it out because I would end up like sweating. I end up getting really, really hot. I start sweating. It's like I'm seeing stars. Um, my stomach is hurting and knotting up. It starts like balling up and stuff. And at first I didn't understand it. I just thought like, okay, it's a little bit of trapped gas, or hey, my stomach's hurting a little bit. So let me get in the fetal position, and try to just, push it out or something. But then when I started like reading more on what I have and start seeing that, hey, fatigue is with that. Hey, your intestinal blockages. And I just was like, that's what that is. It's called an intestinal blockage. I was just like, whoa, like that thing hurts. That thing is no joke.
Yeah.
Like, and then I saw that you can die from an intestinal blockage because nothing's coming out, as a burp and nothing's coming out as gas. So it's just all stuck right there. Um, and sadly, when I talked about this, someone I knew close to me told me that their father had an intestinal blockage and basically that's how they ended up passing away. They didn't know about it. They didn't know how to get it out. They were in doctor's care. And it just was like, yo, like they had an intestinal blockage and that's how that elevated. So I'm just like, I'm glad I am talking about this with people so they can know because the intestinal blockage is one of my main, things that happen. So I'm just like, I'm glad I am talking about this so people know that, hey, if your kid or your son is saying, hey, my stomach, it may be trapped gas, like, they just need to probably relieve that gas ASAP.
Yeah, it's something that's not very talked about much, is it? I don't think,
Definitely.
because the pain I'll say the most painful pain I've had is like a burny feeling in your stomach and
Yeah.
acidy as well, and it stays there and it's almost like you're on fire a little bit
For
inside.
real.
Yeah, and that was when even before I was diagnosed I felt that, and then I had to be on steroids and stuff afterwards. But that was the most painful thing, and having the prep for having a colonoscopy as well, having that well-being, having and that pain wasn't helping because that was just not very nice.
It was so long since I prepped for colonoscopy. I've only had one.
Yeah,
And, when they told me that I was going to have a colonoscopy, the first thing I did was go Google
yeah,
those, those pictures. Those pictures scared me. Those pictures scared me. I was just like, yo, I was like, if my stuff looks like this, I was like, I definitely got some changes that I got to do. So I was scared the whole time. But when I got my picture, which I wanted to find that picture, like I keep that picture because I just feel like, but that's years ago. So I was just like, you know what? I have this like a trophy, like that's years ago. I need to get another one ASAP, like now, so I can be up to date with, what's going on.
yeah,
But it scared me. But when I got mine, it looks so much better. It was just like a couple of, ulcers, a couple of little inflammation. And with the paper that they gave me, telling me like what I can and can't eat, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try to control that with this piece of paper.
yeah,
I was like, that is what I'm gonna do. And I told myself, since, it looks, pretty decent, I was like, I'm just gonna act like I don't have anything. I'm not gonna talk about it because other people don't know about it. And I felt that, I was in grammar school, going into high school. So I was like, if I talk about it or literally say Crohn's disease, people are going to think it's like a disease or like some type of STD or something, or like something that you could catch. So I was like, I don't want to talk about a disease with these people because people, really don't open up their minds to things.
yeah. They do, don't they? because some people like it's hard to explain Crohn's disease as it is, and you don't want to explain it all the time because it can be tiring, can't it?
Yeah, especially as a child. I didn't want to explain nothing to nobody. I just was like, I'm regular. But people would always be like, you're so small, you're so skinny. And as I see now, my whole weight gain and loss is has to do with my Crohn's too. So I was like, at the end of the day, I really can't get upset with my weight because yeah, your girl don't like to be skinny, but that's what this disease brings.
Yeah, like it's all about like you can lose lots and then you put that back on when you can.
Yeah.
And it's something you want to do. You don't like I say I was like when I lost lots of weight because that was what mainly happened to get something what was going on because I lost all that weight 2017 and it was at October out of then I started couldn't eat and then I tried to eat but then I was just in pain
Didn't
like
want to.
yeah like I couldn't like if I did I was full with one mouthful um and
Yeah.
then I had to be put on the liquid drinks that they give you. I
Mm.
didn't like them either, so I wasn't winning
Yeah.
at all. And when that happened, I had to fight to get appointments because I would have needed surgery otherwise. But I've never had surgery while having Crohn's.
Nice.
But, but which many people do. So I don't know. I might
Yeah.
one day. I might one day. I might have a stomach bag as well. So I don't have one of them either. Um,
Yeah.
at the moment. But yeah, like they are very. There's fear. The things when you have Crohn's, you do fear about what could happen sometimes.
Yeah. I did fear, possibly having a bag or something because they kept saying like my abdomen, it just was like protruding. Like you would see it looked like a whole tennis ball was just like sitting right there. And then how could I say, like you said, you didn't want to eat nothing? I didn't want to eat anything. Like everybody was bringing my favorite food, my favorite snack. And when I said no to those, they were like, something's wrong with her. Like
You
she
kind
don't
of
say
want
no to
it though.
chocolate.
You kind of want it, but you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to. The taste buds, you don't want it. It's just like, nah, this is hurting. I gotta figure out what this is.
Yeah,
And it was just poking and poking. Then they tell me like, something called like fistula
yeah, yeah,
or fissures or something.
yeah. I know. I've got one of them. I
Is
have.
it comes out of like your skin?
Well, I think they can be anywhere if I'm not wrong. Like my one is at like my back passage, like it's always been there or something, um, and yeah, it gets like some people have many of them, not just one. Like can have loads at the same
So it
time.
comes out of your body? Is
Um,
it is it like your feces coming out of your
uh,
body?
uh, I'm not sure. Like I think I don't know why it happens. I think it's because things develop or something, and people with Crohn's get them a lot. Like
I'm still learning so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Like for me, it can affect from your eyes down to your bum area and stuff. So it can affect anywhere. Crohn's
Yeah.
can. Like but it's not as visible that people can see. But like if people know you, they really know you. Like you said,
Yeah.
they'll know maybe something like why you're not eating this um
Mhm.
and stuff. Like is there stuff you have to avoid like now at the moment that you have to eat certain foods or are you okay with that?
I'm okay with foods, but I know that I will still pay for it later.
Yeah,
Like I said, I have to have my tea either in the morning, by lunch, or at night, you know, every day. Because if not, like if I do it in the morning, it'll help break everything down for later on in the day. I eat a lot of breads because I want to try to gain weight. So I got to make sure I have that tea and that bread so it can wash down and everything so nothing gets stuck. And like you can really tell the difference when you like either drink warm water or if you drink your tea like after eating, breads or like cream cheese and bagels and stuff. Like you can really tell the difference of like, everything getting clear and everything going down. Another thing I didn't say with the fatigue and, like my fatigue and my like my how could I say? I don't, what's it called when your joints.
Oh yeah, like arthritis.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, similar to that.
similar to that.
Yeah,
I would be asleep, and when I wake up, it would hurt. Like, and I like to sleep like, like balled up. So like this would hurt opening up, and it'd just be what is this? But I quickly found out that was also, a result of Crohn's disease. It'd be inflamed, all of my little parts, and like all my crevices and stuff like that. Anything that bends, it would just be stuck in the morning.
yeah.
So it's like 45 minutes to an hour for me to like wake up
Okay.
with the stretching.
Yeah, yeah. Like when you said about like having your lunch, like or your meals, I think it is important to have your breakfast, isn't it? Like when you wake up, um, especially if you have Crohn's, for example, because you need that. If you're on medication, it's important maybe to eat before you
That
take them.
energy too.
Yeah, yeah, and like you always get people say, "I don't eat breakfast." I don't.
I never used to. I force myself. I force myself. And now
Yeah,
I meal prep a little bit. I do like my egg bites because I feel like I don't have the time to want to feed myself in the morning. I just feel like get up, get ready for work, go. And I forget like, oh, I didn't eat, So then I definitely have to like double back and be like, you know what? No, I have to eat because that gives me my energy for the rest of the day.
yeah. I completely agree because like I was always be the one saying, "Is there any point in having breakfast?" Like sometimes I would not as much as I do now. Like I know I have to because I have my breakfast.
Yeah.
And it might be the same breakfast every day, um, but yeah, and like it is important, like breakfast, like any meal. Like, as long as you have your 3 meals, like it's fine, I suppose.
Yeah. And so you have to. You got to get that energy. You got to get that, that make you push. And that food gives you that energy. And plus, I take like certain vitamins that end up try to give me some energy that it turns your food into energy. I think it's that vitamin B12. The B12 or the D3, one of
Well,
them.
I think like you can have B12, vitamin D that help your fatigue. We're supposed to help your fatigue anyway.
I was
Um,
gonna say because I'm still 45 minutes when I wake up. Like, no, I don't want to, but I do all my stretches, and that helps me get up.
yeah, yeah. Like if I get up early, I'll probably stay up. I wouldn't go back to sleep. Well,
Yeah,
it depends what time it is, I suppose. Um, but yeah, like it's important to have a good sleep pattern, I suppose. But it's hard if you can't.
yeah. That sleep pattern, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
yeah, yeah. Like I suppose, yeah. It's hard, I suppose, to get to sleep, especially if you're in pain. If you're in pain, you can't, can you? Like you're up all night, and
Yeah.
yeah, and which is why when I was in that pain, I had to get seen immediately. I went in the middle of the night, and when I can't sleep with this pain. Like don't think anyone
Hmm.
could. And the annoying thing is about waiting. Like I don't like waiting. I don't know about you. Like if you go for an appointment somewhere, you have to wait, and when they're late, it's annoying.
I don't like waiting. Mm,
Uh,
I don't like waiting.
uh, um, Actually, whenever I see my consultant at the hospital, I'll say, I'm having surgery yet because I always worry about it.
I was gonna say here, if I need to go to like the emergency room, I wait till in between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. That's the time where I get seen quickly and I'll be out quickly.
Yeah,
I won't go at no other time. I just be like, nope, I'll wait till midnight to go to the emergency room because then I know I'll be, seen like that
yeah,
for some reason. For some reason, I don't know why.
yeah. It'd be nice to get seen quicker. Um, it would be nice because I know they're busy and all, but it is annoying. If you have to wait,
And
especially
around a lot of people sometimes, I get anxiety, like being around a lot of people in crowds.
yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like being close to people. I just like being away from people as much as I can.
I swear, it's crazy because like I used to work in like an environment where I'm around everyone and taking all their pictures and smiley, smiley. But I swear I would go into that corner and be like, okay, I need to recharge by myself, away from everyone, try to get the anxiety down. It gets, how can I say, it's a battle. It's a battle with yourself, like mentally sometimes too.
Yeah, because like part of me, like I just don't like that kind of environment, like especially when you go to a place and it's not well, it is an emergency, but it's not an emergency like that most people are there for. Um, like A&E or ER, where people are just there, and you're there for a completely different reason. You're there because something inside's going on,
Yeah.
what they can't see.
Yeah. And people looking at you like, oh, he's okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm actually on 10 and it's hurting me, but I'm just smiling
yeah,
just cuz, you know?
yeah. Like you just say to people, yeah, I'm fine, because they're not gonna. If you say you're not fine, they're just gonna say you are.
Mhm. And they'll look at you like, what's wrong with her? Nothing's wrong with her. They're just seeing. But it's like, hey, if I wore my outsides on my insides, you would see there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
There is, and it's hard because like, it's nice when you see on those toilets now, like not everything is visible. Um,
Yeah.
but it'd be nice to have more than that, I suppose. Like more like things, not just about toilets, just in general.
Hmm.
Like going to different places. If you're just sitting in an appointment, for example, like in the waiting area, um, nice to have those there, not only toilets.
That's my problem. I would never like to get up and walk to the toilet. Like if I go to a new place and I'm sitting there like chilling, it's just like I know the bathroom's right there, but I don't want to be the person to get up and everybody look at me walk to the washroom. So I just don't even deal with it. But like I really like the place I work right now. They have like sanitizing spray to spray in the air. They have pre-poo spray to spray. Like I was like, you know what? They make this so comfortable. I'm gonna go to the washroom every time I need to use the washroom. Like that's how I feel there. So like I'm thankful for a workplace, like a work environment like that. My
Yeah,
last job, I would not talk about it. I feel like they would like use it against me. So I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't speak about it. Standing 1 hours to 3 hours, maybe four, doing a person's hair. I used to be a lice technician. I still am now, but I just do it on the side. But that consists of staying on my feet 2 to 3 hours, cleaning someone's hair. And that's just like 3 hours without using the washroom. You know, it it's hectic, and just trying to smile with it and just like I don't want to break that time and go use the washroom real quick because if I go, I might need to stay longer than I really thought that I need to.
yeah,
And I'd rather not someone go in there after me, behind me, and be like, "Oh, what just happened?" It was only one person, and it was her. Like, hold on. So I would just hold it everywhere I went.
yeah. It shouldn't be like that, though, should it? Like I've been toilet before, and people I may be longer than other people, and people say, well, I'm in there because I'm not in a wheelchair, or something like that. Um, which, yeah, like uh, it's annoying. Like if anyone's in the toilet, you'd rather wait till you go home or something, wouldn't you, rather than go out in public.
And it hurts.
Yeah,
Sometimes it'll hurt to hold that long.
yeah. Well, um, it's not good to hold things, but it's just that you don't want to be judged, I suppose, like that you're using the toilet and
Yeah.
get into a confrontation where they're not going to see what you mean. um, and yeah, it's hard.
I just got my bathroom card too, because I was like, you know what? I need to utilize this when I need to go. Like, I don't need to be playing around. I don't care if they be like, nothing's wrong with her. Yeah, okay. Let me do this right here with you. How about that? Like, you know,
Yeah, I've got my card as well. I always use it if I need to. Like, it's like a just can't wait card that says Crohn's colitis on there,
yeah.
which they don't have to. Like, people don't have to. Like, if you're using it, they don't have to accept it, do they? Like it's just up to the people who are there.
They better accept it.
Yeah, they do.
Walk
Yeah,
right to the front of the line. Walk right to the front of the line with the card, like, hey,
yeah.
VIP. Sorry, VIP.
That's what it's like, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I always remember that time I went to a concert and I didn't want to go to one of the concerts because I knew it was going to be packed. And I went to local McDonald's and everyone was queuing because the normal toilets were packed and they were going to the disabled one. And I'm there just walking walking past. I got my card. I'm showing my card. I'm waving it about, and then I'm through. And it said, I'm going to have to go before you because well, I was kept quite far ahead, and then they're just looking at me like, why are you doing that? Get get to the back.
Talk about go somewhere. Oh my God.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's crazy that it has to be like this.
Yeah. It's, when I had flu the other day, and it was just like, I'm hearing them say, first class, not first class. It was just like, members, they go in first, if you have a disability, you go in first. And I just was like, you know what? That's me. I was like, that's me. And everybody was just looking like, what's wrong with her? And I went to the lady in the front, like, I heard you say disability. Do you need to see my card? Do you need to see, what's wrong with me? And they was like, no, 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 no. We don't need to ask for none of that. They're just like, you go ahead and go sit down. And I was just like, thank you. I thought I'd had to, prove. I was like, hey, I got my sweater on. I can go into my email and show you this. And I was about to just throw it all on the table. But they was just like, no, you silently go ahead and go. You go with the first group. So I was like, yay, felt a little special. I was like, I need to embrace this. Why am I holding it and just closing myself out from being able to get, how can I say, the help that I need? It's just like an eye opener now. And like I said, paying attention to myself, it has me like you said, you go into a concert and it's like, okay, you got to figure out where the washroom's at. At first, I never really cared about that. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm good on that. I could hold that the whole concert.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, that's wrong. Don't do that. It's literally knocking, like, hey, go to the washroom now. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. I could just stay here and party. Like, no,
Yeah.
gotta go.
It's kind of effort, isn't it? like like
If anybody would know how much I would be like, and then when my stomach gets big, it's just like, okay, it's time. It's like, Shantae, you look pregnant in the front. It's time to go.
yeah, it's time to make that trip.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but it is something. It's hard. Like whenever I'm at a concert, I don't like when I need to go to toilet or something. I literally don't
Mhm.
like it because like there's all the amount of people's going to be there. I don't want to be in there. Like especially like if I need a number two in a public toilet, I won't go because I don't like when people
Yeah,
hear. In general, I don't like if you're going for doing that and people are going in as well. I don't like doing it in the side toilet. So what I'll do, I'll clean it because you don't know who's been on it. I'll clean
yeah,
I'll clean it and stuff like that. But everyone probably won't do. Like if you got Crohn's, I would imagine most people with Crohn's do that. Um, but it is something that I would rather not do. I'd rather wait till I get home.
yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
can't help it though. If you need to go.
I was gonna ask you, how have you managed?
Um, like what was the toilet thing?
Like your Crohn's in general.
Okay. Well, like once since I was diagnosed, I didn't. I suppose I didn't like it to know that I had Crohn's because I didn't know what it is. Like we do, we go on Google, um,
Yeah.
and I type it in, and it says all. I didn't find anything good about it. Like it had surgery. You could have a stomach bag. You'd quite like to have surgery in your lifetime if you're diagnosed at quite a young age.
Hmm.
Um, which at the moment I haven't. But who knows?
That's good.
Who knows? It might maybe one day. Um, but then you learn that everyone's remission can be different. You can be in remission for years. You could just be in remission in a day. You could be in remission in a few months. So it's everyone
Yeah.
different. And yeah, I suppose the hard first it was quite hard at the start. Because I didn't know what I had no clue what Crohn's was. It was something that I thought I don't. Annoying thing is that you don't know how you got it. Like no one knows, do they?
Yeah.
Like how did you develop it? Was it something you born with?
Hereditary or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because no one in my family has it. Crohn's. I'm the only one
Really?
that has Crohn's. So it's not.
No kind of IBD issues or UC?
In fact, actually, like some have died from bowel cancer and stuff. So
Okay.
so there is involvement in the autoimmune disease in autoimmune because autoimmune is still with IBD. Um, but no one has actually had Crohn's or colitis or anything. I'm the only one that has that, and I know some people that there are people that have it. It goes on in the family, and some people it doesn't. So it kind of varies, really.
Only one that I think in my family as well.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It is. I suppose easier if you do would know about it. You know that if I get this, I think quite um, parents probably worry about it when they have children too. If you have Crohn's yourself, they probably worry it's like my son or daughter gonna get this have Crohn's too.
A friend of mine actually put that to the forefront of, you know, my thoughts and everything. So now I'm just like trying to make sure that I pay attention to my son as well and pay attention to like his bowels and making sure that he's, going on the regular and stuff. Cause I just was like, basically she, kind of shared with me that she had to pay attention to her son too. So, that really put me like, you know what? I need to pay attention to him and make sure, see what he got going on with his, stomach and stuff, just to make sure I keep an eye on things and, check anything. They always say you gotta check early, check often when it comes down to certain things. So I'm just gonna, put it to the forefront. If I hear him talk about his stomach or anything, I would quickly want to like get him in and be like, hey, let's make sure you don't have what I have, or don't have the cousin of it or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's not nice, is it? Like for the whole family, I suppose. Whoever has it, like Crohn's, but you can't do anything. Well, yeah, like it's hard to explain to someone, isn't it? That
Yeah.
what pain you have because they don't know what it feels like. Really, and
Yeah.
like like there's other things with hair, like you can like hair symptoms too. Um, I think eye symptoms you can with Crohn's too. Spots maybe.
With the eyes, so I do wear contacts like a little more nowadays, but like once in a while it'll probably be like, how could I say, foggy, even after I cleaned my contacts out. Um, the brain farts. The brain farts, like I'll be thinking about something and then I'll be like, but what was I saying? I was told that's a part of, having Crohn's. They said like brain fog or something. I call it brain farts. But that that is just like that's the worst. When you're trying to come up with a word, you're trying to think about something and like it's completely out of your mind. You have no words, you have no nothing. And it's just like, oh, okay, I just blanked out.
Yeah, It's annoying now, isn't it? Like if you're thinking something and you forgot what you're gonna do, or what you're gonna say. Um, it was actually only last week that, because I had so many scheduled things to do, I literally forgot the one thing, and then it sprung back to my mind. But I was getting really annoyed about it because I scheduled it and all, and I forget what that was, and and it's annoying when it happens, when you forget stuff, and that sometimes don't come back.
Gotta put an alarm. Gotta put an alarm.
Yeah, yeah, that always helps. Like if I need to be up, I always have alarm on my phone or something. Um,
I got 6.
yeah.
Because a 1 and 2 just don't do.
Yeah, I used to do it with like Siri or Alexa, but they seem not to work. Or not if it does work, it doesn't
Yes.
wake me up.
Yeah, that's why you gotta like put a really, really large or loud like Amtrak horn or something, or like the Purge horn.
Oh yeah,
That's, yeah, I have that.
yeah. Do you like the film The Purge, or you watch them all? Like, yeah,
Yeah, love them all. And even son was like, I want to watch that. He
yeah,
he has one of those like he got like the mask.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he likes the mask. He got 2 of them. He has is there? No, I don't think it's over here. He has that one with like the X's that lights up,
Oh yeah,
and then he has the other one that's the Purge one.
yeah,
The that Purge guy. He has that one too.
yeah. I swear I've watched the same film multiple times though. But I just can't remember what happens. Like, we know what does happen, but um, like it is like, in a way, it's something that is, I don't know if to say it's interesting, but it is intriguing to see what happens and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you, you said it started in like 2017, right? Your
yeah.
Crohn's. Um, what was that like peak part for you, like the pain that made you wanna like, hey, let's go get this checked out?
Because I physically looked like I was a skeleton. Well, I didn't know that, but just people, my mum really kind of knew that and stuff. And I yeah, I was near enough on death doors, looking like. And I always share that photo. I haven't shared it for a while, but it's something that I do like to look at, because that photo symbolises that I'm not well. That
Mhm.
I'm more skinnier. I look like a skeleton. Um, and yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of something was wrong, and I wasn't eating, and I wasn't the same. I was more tired, and I was at school at this point. This was the last year of my school. I was in the last year of it and everything, and
Mhm.
as exams as well. So that wasn't ideal getting diagnosed at that particular moment, but it was nice they were understanding and everything. Um, I didn't like getting asked questions as well about it at school, knowing that I was
Yeah.
in the process of probably getting it checked anyway. Um, because I would have one hand with my holding my stomach, one hand doing writing and things.
Oh, did it ever like in school? Were you in school like when it was happening and stuff?
It was the last year of it, yeah, yeah,
Um, did did it like make noises out loud, like if you were hungry, like if it would sound like a growling?
yeah, yeah. I think so, yeah. I did say that.
Mine did that all the time at 14. And I would just be like, I literally, anytime it was about to happen, I'd be like, start balling up paper because people would be like, girl, you don't eat? You hungry? And I'm just like, yeah, my stomach's growling. And I would just leave it at that. Yeah, my stomach's growling. So then it was just like, oh, she don't eat, you know, she don't eat. So that's when that went around. But it was like, I was like, I wanted to ask other people, like, hey, was your stomach making noises out loud? Like it was growling like at you?
Yeah, like you was hungry but you can't eat. Which was the annoying part, but when you did eat, like after that colonoscopy, I had toast. I had toast, a nice cup of a hot drink that I haven't had for probably ages. Like I was
Yeah.
empty, like having that colonoscopy, you have the prep to make you empty. I was empty anyway. So I wasn't. I just had it just to help, but I didn't even drink all the
Yeah.
prep, because there's so much of it. And yeah, I've only had one, but I had a sigmoidoscopy last year, and so like the first like other like big thing after my colonoscopy in 2017,
Oh man.
and that
That's
was with
I'm
an
really have
enema.
to push to get one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have an enema.
Last time I had one of those things, it was before my son,
Yes,
way before my son.
they're not nice, are they?
Um, no, actually, the doctor, I forgot what it was, but the doctor asked about that, like, have I gone or whatever? And I was like, oh, I haven't gone in like a week. And she was like, what? She was like, get up here right now. And I was just like, what's wrong? Everything should be okay. She's like, no, we need to give you an enema. You're pregnant. You haven't gone in a week. She was like, that's all bad. And you have Crohn's. She's like, that's bad. So, went up there, did it, and she cleaned me out.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard because it makes you go to the toilet straight away, doesn't it? Having an
yeah,
enema.
she was like, just wait. And I was like, you
Yeah,
sure? I
that
was
was the
like,
same.
I gotta hold it.
Yeah. How long did you try to hold it for, do you think? Um,
She tried to get me to hold it for like 10 minutes,
yeah,
but
same.
it just was like, it was like, you sure? Should I go now? Like, can I like lay on my back? Because I'm like, as I'm standing straight, I was like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, because they lay you on the bed, don't they? Like, because
Yeah.
they put it in, and it feels all weird, doesn't it, when they do that bit? And
Yeah.
I suppose I was quite fortunate because I knew the person who's doing it. Um,
Mhm.
but still, like she said that, like, don't go to the toilet yet. Just try and wait 10 minutes. But if you can't, just go. And
Just go.
I couldn't wait, buddy. 2 minutes. I was going like a goner. And then the thing is, I poured blood out. Like it was like a bloodbath. It was when I went, and they said that was fine. That was normal. They said what was going on and stuff. But
Okay.
like I was on there about 30 minutes. The thing is,
Yeah.
like like you could. They say you can come back and go back. I didn't want to come back. I'd rather just sit there.
Mm-mm.
And
And to make sure it's all out.
yeah, I'm not going back. And the funny thing was I said I need to go. I need to go now. I need to go now.
Yeah.
And then a woman in there was saying, Do you need me to wheel you?" And I said, "Nope. It's only over there. I'll run."
You either run or roll yourself
Yeah,
real fast.
yeah.
Gone.
If I'm rolled, it's gonna make me go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real. And
yeah.
it's gonna make me get up and run faster, like Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, yeah. Like
For
literally
real, for
before that,
real.
I had no clue what an enema was. I never had one before. It was different because with a sigmoidoscopy, it was only putting the tube up down your bum and stuff, or up your bum.
Mhm.
And through that, I had the gas in air this time because when I had my colonoscopy, I had the sedation, but through this, I
Okay.
had the
I
gas
was
in
gonna
air.
ask you that, like, hold on, they put you to sleep through the colonoscopy, right?
Mm. No, I've had a few people speak about that actually. I've read, like the UK and stuff because we don't go sleep for it. We stay awake. Um, like
I was sleep. I
yeah,
was sleep, but I
yeah,
wonder how would be my tolerance now.
yeah. It's interesting because I think it depends where everyone is in the world. It's not something that I would thought you did go to sleep for because we don't have here. It only takes about 15 minutes to do. With both ends as well. Um, uh, like it's quite quick if you think about it. But when I had the colonoscopy, I had sedation, so I'm gonna wait for it, and that's when I knew I had Crohn's. Because I saw
Yeah.
I heard the person do it. It said that got Crohn's disease, and because of dated, I really vaguely heard him. Then when I'm out, I say I've got Crohn's, and he says, "Oh, you've got Crohn's," and even though I have no clue what it is, I just hear that word. I can still hear it and
Yeah.
stuff. But
So you were up a little bit.
Yeah, I was awake, but I like staring because you can see what they're doing inside, like moving about on the screen, on like the X-ray thing, and
Okay.
that kind of distracts me a little bit, from concentrating. Um, but because when you have a colonoscopy, they do it up your bum and down your throat, and the down your throat bit is not nice. That isn't, they kind of gag you, like, get down there, and
Yeah.
they tell you to relax, and in my mind, think, how can I relax?
With something going down, like, yeah.
Yeah, but like that's hard because it's not as that. I wouldn't say that from my experience. If I remember that far back, it's not as long. I wouldn't have thought, than doing the endoscopy. But it's interesting to hear. Like, I find it interesting because people can go to sleep where we can't. We don't go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was because of my age and because of like
Maybe,
whatever they sedated me with at that time.
maybe,
But I
maybe.
definitely know I need
Mm.
to get another one just you know, for my health, just so I can know what's going on. Because plus it's been what, man, since I was 15 since I had that colonoscopy. So I'm just like, girl, go get one. But then the other half of me is like, I'm scared. Just keep thinking that it looks like the pretty one that you had 15, you know, at 15. That's
Yeah,
how I'm just trying to do. But I know I need to get another one.
yeah. Like I had they wanted to just do the sigmoidoscopy one because I was no need to do the whole entire thing.
What
Uh,
is that one called?
like a sigmoidoscopy it's basically you just have like they look at half inside. If you don't they don't look like all the way like they would if you had a colonoscopy. But with a colonoscopy they look through
Okay.
all of it, don't they? They look down the throat and look right down into your bowel. The sigmoidoscopy only does not as much, um, like
Mm.
with the camera side of things. Um, but I did see that they got this pill or some pill where like I don't know, like you have this pill now. Well, I've never used it, but I think it's a new thing developing into something where you can have this pill or something, and then you swallow it, and then they can look inside you for a pill camera or something, which
Oh my God.
which sounds interesting.
Very.
um, but
So wait, they give you the pill while you're at the hospital though, right?
yeah, yeah, I think they would. Yeah, or I'm not sure because it's a pretty new thing. What would have to happen? Like I think
Oh
you
my
would
God.
probably from the toilet if you maybe come out that way or something. I don't know, but it may be a better process to have a more because people are trying to go painful things anyway. Sometimes having these procedures can be very painful.
I was
So
like, does it disintegrate? What happens to the
yeah,
camera? Like, wait, like,
yeah, we're getting pictures inside all the time, maybe. uh,
yeah. I'm like, I can't picture it.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I literally thought I was gonna have a colonoscopy every year or something, maybe just to see. Um, but I think that's what these sometimes you have those poo sample things that you can do where you could just put something in a cup that look down there. It's
True.
it's another way, but not which is I suppose why I haven't had another colonoscopy. Um, and yeah, it's I haven't. I've only had the two. So the sigmoidoscopy and the colonoscopy, and that's it. And I'd stay in hospital. Um, yeah, yeah. I believe I did stay in hospital overnight. For the both. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I hated those hospital visits. Like those and missing school really put me back.
yeah, yeah,
Like I was on my way. I was at a really good school and I was all honors classes. But then so many days missing and everything, I had to basically be demoted from all honors and JROTC and everything and just go to regular classes.
yeah,
Like it just became too much for me.
yeah. I didn't like being in hospital either because I had exams and people waiting for me and stuff like that, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to be the one to ruin it and stuff. But I wasn't gone long.
Hospital, skinny. that's what happens. You be in a hospital, you start to lose that weight in the hospital too. That's just like the worst. I would just call friends. Can you bring me food up here, like real food? Because then this food's not gonna help me gain weight. But then when they're telling you like liquid diet, you just need to do your broth and this, it's just
Oh,
like
broth. I don't like broth.
it's like how am I gonna gain weight from broth?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that part is that part that's just like. But I was gonna ask you, what medicines like did they end up giving you?
Well, I was on azathioprine straight away. Um, so I've been on azathioprine ever since. I was on vitamin D tablets, which I'm still am. I'm still on those two medications now.
Mm.
B12. I was on B12 injection because when COVID hit, I couldn't go to the GP, like the doctors. So that is now tablet form as well. Um,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, they're the main ones. And then I was put on a biologic in infliximab. Um, and I was on that for a year. And that is probably one of the other worst reactions. Probably one of the worst reactions I had to been on a medication.
To which one?
Like infusions, I was on like
Oh,
infliximab. It was called. I think it might be called different in America, but it means the same thing. They're all weird names, long names that.
yeah. I
Um,
remember Pentasa.
yeah.
That's one I do remember way in the beginning. They're big and like bluish green or something. They were huge, like horse pills. Like for
Horseshoe pills. Then.
real. That there was it. I didn't like it. I faked take it. Basically tossed it, made my parents think I was taking it. Plus, they wasn't really on me about it, so I didn't like those at all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they gave me prednisone, and after I had prednisone, that's when I chose to never talk to the doctor again, and never agree to taking any of their medications again.
mm, that's it. I think it's great. Like, wait, is it like? Are you on any medication at the moment?
No, I just take vitamins.
Okay. Mm. Have you been doing all right then? Like, haven't had much pain?
I've been doing all right. I still get lots of pain,
Okay.
here and there. Today I had some. I have a tiny little bit right now. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'd be like, hey, make sure I'll go put my tea on. That's it. I already had the tea kettle going when I came in the house. I was just like, let me get this stuff set because later I'm gonna figure out what's going on right there. So
Mm.
I'm thinking, it's just something with, something got to get through. I feel like something's probably stuck right there.
Yeah, yeah. And do you feel like stress maybe kind of makes that worse?
Definitely. There's been, and I looked it up. I guess, the side of my face has been like twitching. I can feel like a nerve and stuff like that. So I just feel like, okay, you know what? You need to calm down. Maybe you're feeling too stressed out. When I'm starting to feel certain nerves twitching in my face that I can't control. And when I feel like, the heart palpitations, and I feel like it's anxiety, but I really don't know. I feel like everything is anxiety for me. So I just be like, okay, you know what? Let me get a second because my anxiety's going. That's when like my heart start going crazy. Um, but today I felt pretty good. I felt pretty good today. I felt nervous, of course, because I was just like, I got this at 5. I gotta be there. We can't reschedule again. Last week it was a mistake. I was like, I forgot. So I was like, I can't do this again. I was like, I gotta, make sure I'm there. Get over there real quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Here we are.
but
Yeah. We're here at last, aren't we?
yeah, here at last.
Here at last.
Um, man, that one thing I really that like changed my whole mindset about things was when the doctors had gave me prednisone. Um, that steroid was like the devil, I could say. Um, I guess it works, pretty good. It calms down, your inflammation and stuff like that. But for me, it ended up being a very pivotal moment. I basically lost my child. I was 5 months pregnant, and I really feel like it was all because of the prednisone that they had me taking. It formed some things, and basically, like I said, I lost my child. And after that, I was just like, I'm not never taking none of the pills they tell me. I was just like, I need to figure out how to, control this naturally, because they told me to take these pills, and these pills just did this to me and my baby. So I just was like, I don't know. I just felt like I can't trust. Hold on. I need to
Yeah.
decline. Somebody was
Yeah.
trying to call. Okay, declined it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like I sort of hear that about like losing like a child like quite young. But yeah, it can be really hard, can't it? Like with medication and Crohn's in general.
I'm sorry. I don't know why they keep calling.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but I got my little healthy one after, even though, Miss rest in peace Malachi, like he was 5 months, like they got his footprints, certificate of blessing, name, everything.
hmm,
So it was, a little emotional moment because that was my first child. The same day I lost him was the day that I was about to figure out if I was going to have a boy or girl, and I was wishing for a boy. So, it hurts to have a miscarriage on the same day that you're about to find out you wanted a boy so bad. And but yeah, I've became more open about talking about it and stuff.
yeah.
But in the beginning, it did hurt because people would see your stomach so big. So when they don't see your stomach, they're like, oh, you had the baby, and I'm just like, get out my face. Like, you're cheesing in my face. Oh, where's the baby? I'm just like looking at my mom, like, I told you I didn't want to come outside. Like, people are going to see me. They're going to ask, where's the baby? I don't want to come outside, So I stood with a heavy depression after I had the miscarriage for about 3 to 4 months. And then I went back to school and started coming outside because I was like, somebody asked me, I'm going to punch them. I just was like, I don't care what's happening. I lost my baby. I was like, somebody asked me the wrong way, I'm going to punch them. And that's like the way I gained my like confidence back to be able to go outside. I didn't punch them when they asked though, but I was just like, if somebody rose me the wrong way, I was just like, I just lost my baby, so I'll lose everything. That was little mindset that I was having, angry and stuff like that. But I quickly learned,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. And then
Yeah.
I had my healthy baby literally right after, to the point like I prayed every day, like, okay, please let him come out on the day that you guys said, April 1st. I mean, not April 1st, April Fools. That would have been a joke.
Yeah.
October 1st. I would pray like, hey, please let him come out on October 1st, just like the doctor said, nothing earlier. But then once I passed 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, I was like, please let him come out a little early. I was like, I know you can do this for me. But yeah, it was a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Moment for sure. Like it can like if it, like at least that you did have like that did happen. Like I suppose a kind of redemption, I suppose, than what did happen.
Yeah.
Um, like something happened joyful than all the sadness that what did happen.
I mean, put the charger because it looks like the
Yeah.
phone's gonna die.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's what like you said about everything happening for a reason. Like I wouldn't. There's no point taking back what happened. Like with Crohn, for example. because we're here and we've got it, so we can't do much about that, can
we? Yeah.
Yeah. But well, I'll just last few things, Hennessey, because it's been great speaking today. I think it's been really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been like openly talking.
Yes, it's been pretty cool. Is there anything else, like any advice maybe you give out, or anything else that you want to say to finish?
I definitely highly push drinking tea. Like herbal teas, like really helps with those blockages. You can even get energy from certain teas, but that's my thing. I love my teas. And a lot of people that have Crohn's and UC already know peppermint is like best friend. For some reason, peppermint cuts through the gas and any kind of blockages like that. So even if a person don't like peppermint tea or anything like that, at least they can add the peppermint tea to another tea so it can kind of, take over the taste. But if anybody's ever dealing with a blockage, I swear by mixing peppermint tea with anything that you're drinking.
Yeah, I think that's great, because like I'm not a tea person, but I'm more of a coffee person.
Yeah. Coffee goes too.
Yeah,
that coffee will run straight through.
Yeah, but I can't have caffeine in mine because that gives me pain. So I just have it without decaf. I do.
I never paid attention to that.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that kind of
trigger.
I found. Yeah. Trigger and spicy foods. They were the main two triggers. Spicy foods and which it's annoying. I like spicy foods. I did.
I like spicy foods. Yeah.
But every once in a while,
you gotta regulate it.
Yeah.
Or wash it down with water. The same day, constantly, all day.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Hennessey, it's been great. We did this at last.
Yay!
Yeah, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
I did. I really did.
Well, thank you, and I'm sure we'll be doing other things together as well, because as we've spoken for a while, haven't we? Like quite a long time about our Crohn's and stuff.
Wait, you said that you were pausing for a minute, right?
Pausing.
You said you were pausing for a minute, like the podcast.
No, we're just gonna like wrap up here, and then we'll be finished. But yeah, like I just want to say, like it's been great, and we'll definitely speak soon.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we can. I'm still gonna share your stuff. I love a lot of stuff that you do, so anytime I see it, I definitely will share it.
Well, thank you, and you too.
And I appreciate you. It's 11. It's probably midnight now.
Yeah. As I said, I'm a late person.
My earbud died.
Yeah, but well, thanks, Hennessey.
Thank you.